So there's not a think.
No,
That hasn't happened. I checked in on June 4th. When I checked in on June 4th, I specifically said I have a person who is an abuser who may try to contact the hospital. I need to make sure no information is given to that abuser. And if that person, and there is a possibility that that person may show up, and I need to protect myself from that happening. That was 4 days ago. 4 days ago, that was stated. At no point in time has anything been done to protect me. As a matter of fact, the quite opposite. The nurse on staff just now tried to hand me a package from my abuser. I don't know how that makes sense to anyone. She literally went downstairs with the purpose of at least giving me some information as to why the abuser is downstairs. Did not provide any information as to what the conversation she had with the person who was stated to be the abuser, why they're here, and then tried to give me something from the abuser. That makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever.
Okay. So you gave them directive not to, and they violated that.
Exactly.
That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Wow. I don't understand how that. I don't understand if that information was conveyed to all the staff.
It has been conveyed to all the staff.
You know.
Again, from the moment I walked in here, it's not complicated. You look at my forms, I don't have an emergency contact. That tells you right then and there, no one should have any info. So there shouldn't be any questions, period.
Right. I have to check into that because honestly, if you gave directive, I don't know how that should be violated when you gave directive not to. You know, I don't know what happened in the interim that happened. Were they able to give an explanation as to why that? You know why?
I don't have any explanation.
Not
No,
you. Not you. I mean, did the staff able? To
no
give
one has
you-
explained their actions. In other words, no one has explained their actions. No one. No one.
Well, they have to check into the staff. My colleague came earlier and he told me about the case, so I just decided to come and get the first-hand knowledge of what's going on, so I can talk to these people because I don't know if you gave them directive not to, not to reveal whatever, and they went behind your back and do that. That's not cool.
More importantly, at this point in time, now I don't know where my abuser is. There hasn't been any effort to protect them. And so I don't even, it seems as if my abuser has more information about my health than I do. That should be corrected. And there's been no effort to even correct that alone. Even just for my own mental health right now, there has been no effort to actually just clarify what has and has not happened.
And that person happens to be who? Your abuser.
My mother.
Oh, your mom. Okay. She hasn't visited. She hasn't been able to come up here though.
My mother lives in a, sorry, let me clarify. My mother lives in a different state. Over a decade, more than over a decade, I haven't had a regular conversation with my mother. I don't know why she's here. All the actions she has done have created negative effects in my life. All of them in the last decade. There hasn't been any that haven't. And the only reason it continues on is because of shit like this. There is no reason why anyone should have talked to her. But it's despicable that a fucking doctor would try to hand me a package from somebody I stated was my abuser. There is no way that person can make any type of analysis of a 42-year-old relationship as to whether or not it would be appropriate. I can make that decision, not that person.
It can be upsetting. We don't want to get overtly upset. I know it's frustrating on your part.
It's not just upsetting, it's dangerous. At this point, it's dangerous. Because it's one thing to just, to talk to her and everything else. It's another thing to not tell me what's going on with my own health. You're literally not telling me what's going on with my own health. Denying me information about what's happening in my own life. That is literally what's happening in here. That doesn't make any sense.
So if I'm getting you right, you're saying your doctor has not explained to you what is going on with you. Basically, that's that's
Exactly.
what I'm getting.
Exactly. I have no idea what's going on. Sorry, not just with me, with him, with the doctor. In other words, if I say to you, I'm in an abusive situation, that requires an answer. That actually requires steps to be made, but it also requires an answer. To sit here and act as if everything's normal without having a conversation about whether or not abuse is happening, you don't believe abuse happened, what can or cannot be done, it is offensive. It is negative towards my health. I don't have any peace. I have no idea whether or not you think I'm fucking lying, whether or not you think there's some fucking fantasy world going on, whether or not you believe that everything's appropriate. I don't know. It's not fair. If you believe me to be, acting irrationally, then I should at least be told that clearly. Listen, for these reasons, it seems as if you're acting irrationally. That's not happening. It's as if it's normal for me to have to talk in this tone. It's normal for me to be in this upset. That's not normal. I'm here for congestive heart failure. It should just be calm.
It's true. It's true. Right. Have to go find out from them what's going to happen because the fact that I'm not actually attached to the case, I don't, honestly, just passing through and checking with my patient. I don't know exactly what has been going on. I just decided to come to you personally.
It's very simple. What's been going on is there is a person that who should have zero access to my information or any kind of communication with the hospital. That has been happening. Fine and dandy. We can move on from that, but I still need to have clarification as to what that communication was in order for me to move forward.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. I'm gonna explore that and so in essence, basically what you're saying is that there was some communication with the doctor and your mom. What did that happen?
I don't know because the doctor hasn't clarified. My mother is not stable enough to make it clear.
Yeah.
It's that simple. If somebody could talk to her and figure out whether or not she's sane right now, then we can move forward. But there's actually an effort being made to fucking hide whatever the fuck is happening. Because for some reason, nobody's talking to her and nobody's talking to me. As if it's perfectly normal. As if everything's normal. My mother doesn't live here, yet perfectly normal that she showed up. I should want to see my mother, yet it's perfectly normal that I don't. There is no reason for anyone to come to those conclusions.
No, it's upsetting, but I honestly need to explore with them what's going on. I get your side of the story. Don't get me wrong, but I need to find out why there was a communication with your mom and why you weren't privy to that type of communication.
Yes. Now it's been 4 days. 4 days. That question. This isn't new. This isn't the first time that the words that are coming out of your mouth have come out of anyone's mouth, including the other doctors, including the other nurses. There has been now many, at least I don't want to say promises, but there have been many statements by different staff members that they're going to find out what's going on, and then there's zero info. The nurse in charge currently is withholding the information of what happened when she went downstairs. She literally said, I'm going to go downstairs to find out what happened. Then came up with a package and zero information as to why my mother's downstairs. It's a very simple question. Why are you here? Simple question to ask her.
And I'm going to talk to the child nurse now because if that's the main concern you have now to find out exactly what transpired between the staff and your mom and why she's here, I'm going to find out why that information cannot be conveyed to you.
Thank you.
That's the honest truth about it. I don't know. So I'm going to talk to them now. My name is Trevor, by the way.
Okay, I'm Charlie.
Sorry that it's upsetting to you, and I can understand that. But concerning your situation with your heart, we don't want you to get overtly angry about this because that might affect you physically too. I know, and we don't want that. If you get what I'm saying, we don't want you to get overtly angry about it. It's disturbing, yes, I understand, but you have to also think about you, because you are the number one.
I have been doing that since June 4th. Again, from the moment that I checked into the hospital. This could have easily been avoided by asking a fucking question, whether it been days ago or today. It's a simple question. Why? Why? I can't answer my mother's, I'm not in her head. But she's doing actions that affect others, me specifically, while I'm in the hospital. It seems perfectly logical for many reasons, for many people to want to have the answer as to why she's doing what she's doing.
Okay. So, if you were to direct me now, because as I said before, I don't work on this unit, but we pass through this unit every day. If you were to direct me to confront them now and find out exactly what you need to know, I should
It's right here.
find
It's
out
written. It's written. I need to know why specifically, since on June 4th when I came in, I told them there was an abuser that should have been reported. It wasn't reported. So I would like to know why that wasn't reported. And that's pretty much it. Need to start somewhere. I don't have an emergency contact on there. I was asked why I don't have an emergency contact. I stated I don't have an emergency contact because my mother is an abuser. There has been past instances in the past of my mother contacting or trying to contact medical professionals or doing other things without me having any clarity as to why or how, and most of the time it being incorrect. The last time I was here in 2017, my mother showed up here saying that I wasn't working. You know how ridiculous that is? That's easy. I'm either working or I'm not. Here's my paycheck. Here's my pay stub. That's it. Even right now, my mother can't answer any questions as to what's going on in my life. Not because I'm withholding the information, but because she's not retaining the information. And whenever she states something, it's incorrect. It's actually incorrect.